Good morning, everybody. It's LSP. It's currently the 1st of June 2022. I'll do a quick rundown on Bitcoin. At some point today, though, I'm going to take some time out. I want to go through a commitment of traders report and a few other things. Try and get a feel for the bonds, the 30, 10, and 5-year notes. And I'm going to look at some commodities, predominantly the metals. And I want to kind of see how all of this plays into the cryptocurrency market. The idea now starting this new month, it's easy to just say, yeah, it's just a new month, whatever, we'll just kind of go along and see what happens. But when we break everything down and try and get a feel for what all markets are doing, whether it's commodities, whether it's bonds, whether it's US equities and so on, kind of gives you a broader picture of what's happening in the world and how that could potentially be affecting the cryptocurrency market in terms of inflows, right? Because there is some money coming out of the stock market, risk off, but it's not finding its way to cryptocurrency. At least that's what I'm seeing. Doesn't necessarily mean that's the case yet, but this is why I want to kind of do a little bit more of a deep dive into some of these numbers and try and figure out whether or not there is even something coming over into cryptocurrency, and is that going to be a positive effect on Bitcoin? Because ultimately, if we have a nice positive effect on Bitcoin, gets us up to around about 34 to 38, for example, it will settle the market a little bit more. Now, there is an argument to be made that this is just a dead cat bounce, or it's kind of a fake rally. We went through this yesterday in the live stream and some of the other things that I've been discussing over the last couple of days, but it's still something that if it gets dragged out and we get another 10 or 15%, move to the upside on cryptocurrencies, then that's going to put us in a good position in terms of maybe the next two months or so, kind of leading up into the summer as things start to slow down and volumes recede. And in doing so, it kind of keeps everybody nice and chilled, Now, I want to say this, regardless of whatever happens, right? I'm just one person. Obviously, I do my analysis the way I do my analysis, but just bear this in mind and keep this at the forefront of your mind. At any moment, Bitcoin could just do something pretty aggressive and really drop towards that 20,000. Again, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it is a real possibility, that we get a little bit of a rally into these numbers, and then we just get, a continuation to the downside, and we get a really nice acceleration into 20,000. So have that in mind. As I said in the live stream yesterday, I've got two numbers in mind, 20,000, 48,000. These are the two key levels. They're only things I'm really interested in. And everything in between is just trying to find that confirmation that one of these two levels is going to be hit, all right? So far, we've had, let me just go to the hourly. You can see the initial move, consolidation, second impulse, and now we're getting more consolidation, okay? This bodes well. And if we just go over to this chart, sorry, wrong one. I believe it's this one. If we just go to this chart, it does bode well for a move into this level, all right, 34.3 to 34.8. The fact that it's stabilizing in this area is actually very good. Again, always have in mind, we're just looking for the next level to be hit. We're not looking to be, profits, or we're not looking to be, crystal ballers or looking to pick up the exact numbers and all of this stuff. We're just looking for the next level to be hit, which for me feels like it's going to be 34,000. It makes sense to get that kind of final run into this level, possibly a little bit higher. In terms of, in terms of the chart itself, it makes perfect sense because it's, clearing up an imbalance, right? So Bitcoin so far is showing, signs of slowing down, or at least, even if this is full on manipulation and price is just running up to just trap everybody long before it takes a real dump to the downside, there's still one thing that we can maintain is a good thing. And that is, as I've said many times, it's slowing things down and giving people an opportunity to be able to study price, look at their, particular methodologies or the way that they look at the markets, analyze what they're analyzing, and make informed decisions based on logic, based on, confirmation, as opposed to, I'm just going to kind of buy because I think it's cheap type of thing. So far, so good on Bitcoin. Looks good. Binance has slowed down a little. Yeah, if you remember, this level here on Binance is the level that we're interested in. You can see that price, and if we just extend this a little bit, you can see that price is hitting this level now, and it's receded ever so slightly. Yeah, so We can see this 330-ish level, obviously has some significance. Yeah. Otherwise, price would have just gone through it and hit whatever level, was significant at the time. This is the most significant level because price is bouncing on this and it's maintained that level for now. If Bitcoin continues to go to 34,000 and so on, this is absolutely key that it follows suit. If it doesn't, then any movement that, to the downside on Bitcoin is going to drag Binance with it very quickly. Okay. As I said, now we have the inverse on Binance as opposed to what we had previously, where Bitcoin was coming down and Binance was showing a little bit of strength, as opposed to now Bitcoin's going up a little and Binance is showing a little bit of weakness. So we need something, yeah. What I'm going to be tracking anyways, if Bitcoin starts to move, I want to see what that magnitude of move does for Binance. So we would need or I'll say it a different way. Do we need a much stronger move on Bitcoin to get Binance to move? That's what I'm trying to get at. And we'll do both for the upside and for the downside. Now, these types of things you've got to track on lower time frames because it takes hours, for the 4 hour to form. It takes days for the daily to form and so on. So I'll be tracking the flows on something like a 15-minute chart, and just doing some upticks and downtick correlation between Bitcoin and Binance and try and get a feel for whether or not, like I said, do we need to see much stronger move on Bitcoin to get Binance to move, and is that on the upside and the downside, or one or the other, right? And then it gives you a better feel for where the correlation is and how likely it is that if Bitcoin starts to come down, how aggressive the move on Binance will be. Predominantly, we are on the Binance Smart Chain, so these things are important for us in some of the projects that we're currently in. So I do want to make sure that I'm on top of Binance. Ethereum, let's take a look at the weekly on Ethereum. Yeah, I mean, we've got these this level down here just signifies these lows. That it's not a box or anything, or it's not a particular level. It's just showing that these lows obviously have liquidity below them. Had a little bit of a bounce, and again, this is all sort of Bitcoin related. In terms of some continuation or follow through, it is interesting that it dropped and it's kind of reversed this previous drop, so it nullifies this move. If we start to get a run to the upside, the first place it will want to go, where's my line, will be this low right here, right? So let's see what that comes in at. 2210. All right, so if it really starts to go, we're looking around about sort of 2200 on Ethereum, and that's assuming obviously that Bitcoin continues to around about 34 to 38. Now, in terms of indices, and obviously this is pretty early, it's still 10:30 GMT time. NASDAQ, no real change so far. Okay, Wall Street, which is obviously the Dow Jones, 133 up, and then we've got the S&P around about 6.6. So for now, it's looking like the US equities markets may open a little bit flat. Right. Even though Wall Street's up, I mean, the percentage change is pretty much meaningless. There's almost no change on US equities as of right now. Yeah. As we get closer to pre-market, we'll get a better feel because these numbers will start to slowly fall in line, in terms of what the actual numbers are. And then obviously pre-market, we can take a look and see whether or not we're going to be opening up or down. But at the moment, just based on experience and having done this, for years with IG Index, it is looking like we're probably going to open a little bit flat on US equities. How that's going to spill over into the cryptocurrency market, we don't know yet, but obviously we'll continue to track this. And then at some point, hopefully today, if I have time, I'll jump on a live stream towards sort of US equities market open, and we'll go through a bunch of stuff. And with that said, I hope everyone's having an absolutely fantastic day or evening, wherever you are in the world. And I look forward to speaking to you in the next update.